And we're back again. Another episode of the Lonely Stoner podcast. Episode 28, I think we're at.
Yeah, 28. Come on.
Been lacking
We're
a bit,
overdue.
but
Yeah, we're overdue a few, but yeah. We're
back
still
now.
here. We're still standing.
That's it, man. That's it.
Still making content.
Always making content, bro. Always making
even
content.
we've made, well, obviously you've made loads of side quests. I've made a few side quests since the last pod, but yeah, we're still here. We're active.
Always, man, always. Even your boy Seth was on another channel, guesting on Boxing Bros UK. Had a great time with those guys. Yeah, now we're back for the Lonely Stoner podcast.
Got to, man. Get back into it. You know, you had your nice little boxing session with them, man. They seem sweet as anything, to be fair.
Definitely.
So I was saying to you before, like they just seemed like mad chill. Like they were open to what you were saying. Like you couldn't ask for someone better to host you, really.
Exactly. Yeah, they were great. They were always asking me questions, asking for my opinion on stuff. It was a really good time, a fun time. Hopefully I'll be back on their channel again, or who knows, they might even be coming on here. Who knows?
Shout out to them.
Yeah, facts. Boxing Bros UK, Chris and Andrew. Shout out to you guys, man.
But yeah, we got a few things we can talk about. What should we start with?
Start with the UFC.
Start with the UFC. Yeah, obviously we're recording this on the evening of UFC 316, O'Malley versus Merab versus O'Malley.
Yeah,
there isn't too many interesting fights to even talk about on this, really. I mean, you got Luke versus Kevin Holland, Mario Batista versus Patchy Mix, Kelvin Gastelum versus Joe Pyfer, Juliana Pena versus Kayla Harrison, and Merab versus O'Malley. That's the main card, to be fair. So it's not a horrible main card.
Yeah, so it's not awful. Obviously, having two title fights there sort of makes the card sound better than it probably is.
Yeah, it's a fake title fight, though, you know.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, might as well start with the first main card fight, which is Vicente Luque versus Kevin Holland. I think these guys were supposed to fight at one point before.
Yeah, it feels like that.
They never ended up fighting, I don't think. But obviously, these guys, they both have a lot of experience in the UFC. And a guy like Luque coming off a great, I think it was Darce choke win against that black French guy. What's his name? Femba. That was a great win in like less than a minute. But before that, he'd like lost to Buckley, lost to Jeff Neal. But still losing to good guys. But
yeah,
now he's fighting Kevin Holland, who's on a 1-fight win streak against Gunnar Nelson.
Is that even a streak at that point? He's just coming off a win.
You're coming off a win against Gunnar Nelson.
Yeah. A good win.
This will already be his third fight of 2025. So
wow. Gotta respect Kevin Holland, man. Obviously, he lost a lot of people's respect with the 45-70, but
he's a strange guy. Even when you see him talking to these interviews, and he's just I don't know. He's got main character energy.
Of course, yeah, of course.
Like he's saying stuff like thinking that he's in a film or something. But yeah, coming off a win against Gunnar Nelson, it wasn't that impressive of a win as well, to be honest.
It was a decent. I mean, Gunnar Nelson didn't.
He
look
won.
Great.
It's Gunnar Nelson. This guy fights like once every 2 years.
Yeah, and Gunnar Nelson really doesn't have much to offer any like half decent welterweight at this point because he's not doing nothing on the feet.
He's been exactly the same fighter his entire UFC career.
Yeah,
it feels like he just has that weird stance, but he's more of a grappler, but he's not a wrestler. So
no, exactly.
Kind of if he gets in certain situations, he's not really going to advance. But yeah, no, it was Kevin Holland won. He definitely won.
Yeah, that's right.
So yeah, he's coming off that win fighting Vicente Luque. I think Luque's going to beat him, to be honest.
Yeah, I tend to agree. I think Luque probably doesn't have enough in him to go on an actual run at this point, but he's got enough in him to beat Kevin Holland.
Yeah, I'd agree. I would agree with that. I think the striking will be tricky because I don't think Luque is sort of as athletic, sort of powerful as he used to be a couple of years ago. But And Kevin Holland's always dangerous on the feet with his length, especially at welterweight.
Of course. Yeah.
But I think this will go to grappling, and Kevin Holland has a tendency to sort of not try and get up in grappling and just damage off his back and stuff like that. But I think Luke is going to have him in the grappling and jiu-jitsu. So I see like a Luke submission here, or sort of controlling him on the ground and not allowing him to get off the type of damage he typically would off his back.
Yeah, sort of almost doing what Gunnar Nelson should have done in the fight against him, where Gunnar Nelson will just sort of grapple you and not really do much, not really try and advance position or really do much damage. If he can just control you and win the round, he'll be happy to do that. And like you said, Kevin Holland's one of his strengths or maybe tendencies is being able to damage off the back or damage from a defensive position. And
one of them ones, if you're on your back and you're not going to be constantly trying to get up, you should do something. And throwing up submissions and strikes from your back is the next best thing, really.
Yeah.
But I think Luke is going to be good enough to not allow that to happen. But the striking, it could be very tricky for Luke. But I have a feeling there's going to be a couple scrambles that's going to get to the ground, and I can see Luke snatching up a submission.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to go second or third round submission for Luke.
It's a 3-round fight, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll probably go like a second or third. Yeah, I'll probably go the same as well. Second or third round submission for say Luke.
Okay, then next one, Mario Batista versus Patchy Mix. I think Patchy Mix is going to smoke him.
You reckon?
Yeah.
He, on paper, he definitely probably is the better fighter. On paper, but these guys coming into the UFC on their first fight, they've got a funny way of almost fumbling their first fight and then getting that under the belt and then fighting properly.
Yeah, I feel like guys are looking at Michael Chandler and Pitbull and sort of seeing that in Patchy Mix, but in my opinion, it's a whole different scenario because he's way younger. He's like 31 years old.
Yeah.
He's much lower weight class. He's on a huge win streak. He has one loss in his entire career.
Yeah.
And he's a finisher as well. He finishes a lot of his wins.
He does.
I think there's a lot of differences between, and obviously, Pitbull and Chandler will pass their primes once they got to the UFC. They were already past their primes.
Yes, definitely, especially in Pitbull.
I think Mix is a confident. I mean, I've been watching some of his like interviews and stuff this fight week, and he seems like a very confident guy. And he's very big for welterweight as well. He's like around the same height as O'Malley. Oh, bantamweight. Sorry.
Yeah. Damn, is he that big?
135. Yeah, he said he's 5'11".
Damn, I didn't know that.
With a 71.5-inch reach.
Looking at his resume, he's basically fought all of Bellator's top bantamweights. PFL, I don't know what he did at PFL, but like I said, he's only lost once. I'm assuming.
Yeah, he never fought in the PFL.
Yeah, he never fought in PFL. So yeah, I mean, logic would suggest that he would probably beat Mario Batista, but stranger things have happened, unfortunately, in MMA.
3-round fight, and Patchy Mix has 5-round experience as well. So I think taking that into account, plus his finishing potential, I think he's
3-rounder.
I think he's gonna, 3-rounder.
Okay.
Yeah, I think Patchy Mix is going to get a finish or very dominant decision victory. I think Mario Batista he's skilled, but he has nowhere near as much of a threat to finish the fight, and he's not going to be as active, I don't think.
No. I could see a Patchy Mix decision win. Yeah.
I'm going with Pat, and there is some bias there because fuck Mario Batista type shit, but I got to, innit?
Yeah, that's the thing, because
he's skilled. Like, we can't sit here and be like, nah, he's shit, he's gonna lose. Like, no, the guy is very good.
He's a very good he's a good enough wrestler. Well, he couldn't get Jose Aldo down. Jose Aldo's got a generational takedown defense.
Yeah. He couldn't take Jose Aldo down, but I mean, he doesn't even have any really crazy wins in the UFC, but it's just that he beats anyone who isn't sort of like top 10 worthy or ranked worthy.
Yeah.
If you look at before the Jose Aldo fight, he beat my boy Ricky Simone, Damon Blackshear, and then nobody's.
Right.
the famous bantamweight jobber Brian Kelleher.
Damn. That's your boy, bro.
He lost to Corey Sandhagen in his UFC debut.
No
In
shame
his
in
seventh
that.
pro fight.
Yeah. Corey Sandhagen's cold.
Got submitted by Corey Sandhagen.
He's a lanky guy, so makes sense.
But no, I'm going with Patchy Mix. Yeah.
Okay,
Bias
enough, yeah.
plus me I am quite rating Patchy Mix. I think he's going to be good.
Yeah. Oh, fair enough.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm going to go with a Patchy Mix decision as well then. Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, the next one's Kelvin Gastelum versus new hairline Joe Pyfer.
Didn't Joe Pyfer come to the press conference with a grinder in his pocket?
Did he?
Yeah.
Didn't see that.
Yeah, you can see like he's got a grinder in his pocket.
Got to, innit?
So for that, he's got to win this fight.
No, this should be a very easy victory for Joe Pyfer. A guy who's a big middleweight fighting a guy who really should never be fighting at middleweight in Kelvin Gastelum. And to be fair, how is this guy even like still in the UFC? Fighting on main cards of pay-per-views. I mean, what?
Yeah. Jesus. Who would have thought, man? Kelvin Gastelum. Still out here.
Still out here. He's probably not even that old as well.
He's not even that old. Apparently, I forgot who said he was.
He's
like
33.
Yeah, he's 33, but he's an old 33. Like
he's old 33.
He's old mature, isn't it?
He's an old mature. Yeah, facts. Wants to outlive his kids for sure.
Yeah, 100%. But that's because wasn't he like at one point he was like a young buck from like Ultimate Fighter, wasn't he?
Exactly that. I think he beat Uriah Hall in the final. That was the John Jones versus Chael Sonnen, which kind of tells you how long ago that really was. What? He made it 2013. He made his UFC debut, so he would have been what, like 21.
That's filthy. Still,
it's one of them ones like if you're making your UFC debut at 21, you're either going to be one of the GOATs or you're going to be a flop.
Yeah, 100%.
There is no two ways about it.
Yeah, facts, 100%.
And he's just one of those guys, had a bit of hype. At best, he's like a 50-50 fighter now. Or has been, really, for most of his career.
In which case, you should probably look at retiring. But these guys never do, but they should be.
And I guess because he had a war with Adesanya, that his name is still kind of up, still kind of known.
Yeah. It's true. It's true.
Really, at welterweight is where his potential was, but I mean, because he never looked that drained trying to make welterweight. I think he's just very undisciplined. Yeah.
And you look at his frame and stuff, like, he's tiny.
Yeah, he's just got a huge torso. Like, he's got like a small head, like he's got sort of skinny-ish legs.
Yeah.
He's just got a massive torso. Like, he's not even really fat, like he kind of is, but
yeah, kind of, but still.
He's just like a smaller version of Daniel Cormier.
Yeah. I'm
nowhere near
worse.
as good. Yeah, nowhere near as good.
Yeah, that too.
I'm going with Joe Pyfer. I don't think he's going to knock him out, but I think he'll TKO him in like round 2.
Yeah, I'll probably agree. I think
probably just hurt him to the body or something, or just over. Yeah, Joe Pyfer with a grinder. I seen sort of just overwhelming him, pressure. Yeah.
Yeah, because he feels so much bigger than him.
And who is it that Joe Pyfer got fraud checked by? It was Hermanson, isn't it? The ultimate fraud checker.
Oh, was it Hermanson? Yeah.
Yeah, and there's no shame in losing to Hermanson.
Nah.
But I see Pyfer getting this one done.
Yeah, I agree.
All blue corner fighters are picked so far, and I'm gonna pick another.
Hey.
In the next one, which is Pena versus Harrison. I mean, like we said before, we feel like we could pull some random chick off the streets, train her up for a month, and probably have her beat Juliana Pena in a kickboxing fight.
For real. It's so true. I think the thing with Juliana Pena, though, it looks like she's got... It's crazy to say, but she looks like she's got like heart. Like she doesn't really give up in there. Like she'll keep pushing forward, even though. Like,
I definitely agree. That's probably one of her best attributes. Like she's got a lot of heart. She doesn't give up.
and you know she'll be throwing shots in with perfect, no, not perfect, awful technique, but she'll just keep throwing them, and then
I mean,
eventually
it's
she'll
kind of
land
how
them.
she overwhelmed Nunes that last time when she beat
Yeah,
her, but because she was just holding it. She sort of just realized that Nunes' shots were a bit overrated, and she just marched through him and just kept throwing, overwhelmed Nunes.
yeah,
I mean, it's kind of like, yeah, it's literally what you're saying is that she's got a very imperfect technique.
mm.
Uh, Technique that you wouldn't expect to see out of someone training boxing for over 2 or 3 weeks. But she's world champion of the UFC, so who am I
Yeah.
to judge, really? But Kayla Harrison isn't even a striker anyway. For this,
No, she's not at all.
striking wise, like she probably might even be worse than Pena, or maybe sort of same level. But
Christ.
her grappling is really where it's supposed to come in, because obviously I think she's like an Olympic judoka.
Yeah,
Um, she's like 17-1 in MMA.
and when she was doing judo, apparently she was doing judo at like 170 pounds.
Yeah, she's a big girl. She's because she was like, was it Invicta? Was that the women's promotion? She was like their featherweight champion for ages,
Oh,
and that
okay,
was,
yeah,
I think that was
probably, yeah.
why she didn't come into the UFC for so long, because she wasn't really uh, like willing to fight at bantamweight. But now you can see that she's just killing herself
Yeah.
to make bantamweight, and apparently they like somehow rigged the scales for her to make weight the other day.
That's
Did you see
jokes.
this? Because apparently
Oh,
Merab weighed in at 134,
yeah.
and weirdly enough, quite a lot of, or most of the fighters fighting non-championship fights weighed in at championship weight.
Oh, very weird. But they
So
use them weird
people are saying
scales in
that
the
this,
UFC, though, innit?
yeah, people are saying that the scales is weird because obviously most like a lightweight will come weigh in at 156, isn't it? And these lightweights
Yeah,
are weighing in at 155 when they don't need to.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
And Merab was 134, and even when Mario Batista weighed in, he weighed in at 135. He like looked at the guy like, "What the fuck?" Like he gave him a look like, "Are you sure?" But he
That's
sort of
jokes.
just didn't care and just started posing for his pictures. But
Facts.
this is what guys are saying. This is what guys are saying.
Yeah,
Now, I wouldn't put it past the UFC.
yeah.
Having Kayla Harrison as champ is much more of an attractive notion than it is Pena.
Oh, 100%. 100%.
Not to say that either of these girls are attractive, because they're not, but
No, not remotely.
I mean, that bantamweight division is absolutely cooked anyway.
Facts. Yeah, how are they? How was it even still even a thing?
You got Pennington and Pena battling it out for the world title in 2025.
Christ. It's really what it's come to, isn't it?
Yeah. The only women's fights that I actually do watch are the strawweight ones. That's why I think even flyweight's got some alright ones. Like
Mm,
that fight, that last Shevchenko fight was alright. And
okay.
Zhang Wei Li's bad, I can't lie. Not bad like that, she's just a badass.
Okay. She's not. But is she the same person as the Chinese heavyweight, the
Who,
boxer?
what, the boxer? Zhang
Yeah,
Ming
yeah.
Yang. Is
Yeah,
that
it's
his
the same.
name?
It's something. It's the same name, isn't it? That's why I think
Or
they're
is
the
that
same person.
or is that the guy that just beat Anthony Smith?
No, no, that's someone else. Someone else. Right, Lionheart, innit? That's your guy, man.
That's your guy, man. Curling up into a ball at every opportunity.
Got to, innit?
You love him. He's in your top 3 favorite UFC fighters of all time, innit?
Oh, definitely not. Never. He would have to. I mean, there's nothing he could do to get in that list now. Like I've seen too much of him getting packed for him to ever be able to come back into that list.
Yeah, I think we've all seen him get packed quite a lot.
Facts. That's your
At
guy,
this
though.
point, it's what he's been doing for a living.
Yeah, what was he got? Like 16, 17 losses?
Well, in his career,
Yeah.
or more than that, he's probably got that many losses in the UFC down there. And, well, not that many, probably, but man's got 22 losses.
Damn. At that point, you got to take a hint.
13 of them by knockout.
I could not be getting knocked out 13 times, you.
That's your guy, man. Oh,
Like at
Zhang
that
Ming
point,
Yang is the guy that knocked him out.
Who's the Chinese heavyweight? Zhang, man. Yeah, Zhang. It's all the
Oh,
same
they're
stuff.
both Zhang.
Yeah, exactly. So it's all the same
Zhili
stuff.
Zhang.
Yeah. Could have fooled me, innit?
Trust. No, yeah, I'm going Harrison by some way. I don't really care, to be honest, but I'll go with a more manly looking woman.
You got to. Yeah, I would almost say Harrison to stop her, but like I said, Payne's got a lot of heart, and she's not getting knocked out by Harrison, even though Harrison's big, but they're not strikers, so. Oh, is it 5-round fight, though?
Kayla Harrison, I think, will win some way. I don't know. I don't necessarily see her getting a finish, but
No.
it might be one of them ones where like she just dominates the first 3 rounds enough to win them, and then maybe she starts losing the fight as it goes on. But I'll go Kayla Harrison.
Yeah, going Kayla Harrison too.
And main event time. Remember talking about this fight when it got booked. That you guys just getting these undeserved title shots, but Merab versus Sean O'Malley getting an instant rematch, even though Merab went and defended against someone else, and now he's coming back and giving O'Malley an instant rematch. Yep. What do you think about this one?
Who do I think will win? I think, obviously, logic would suggest Merab's going to win. Obviously, Sean O'Malley's talking about how he's stopped wanking and stopped rassing it. Apparently, that's going to change him into a different fighter. Like, it's not. Because really, what was Sean O'Malley's problem was it was more tactical. You know, he wasn't able to stop the takedowns. Wasn't really initiating enough striking to win the fight as well. So it was always going to be difficult for Sean O'Malley to win this. Stylistically, Merab is awful for basically everyone in the bantamweight division because he's beat everyone. Right?
It's hard to even have a style to beat him. Exactly. How he fights. I mean, how do you? I mean, you really, in my opinion, you really are. You have to be that good of a grappler where you can catch him in a submission while he's trying all these takedowns, which no one really seems to be in the bantamweight division. That amazing of a grappler. All you just need to catch him and finish him.
You know, one guy.
I mean, you're not winning a decision against him. No way.
One guy, funny enough, who I actually think would have a decent chance against him, but they will never fight is Aljamain. Aljamain's got a pretty decent style to face someone like Merab, but
his style of wrestling as well is like the way he fought Evloev. I think he in the grappling he would have like a decent fight with Merab.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, obviously those.
And his striking is probably like a bit better.
Yeah,
than Merab's. But yeah, that would never happen. You know, they're like best buddies. See, that's when I get it. You know, like if them two say they don't want to fight, I hear it because they're main training partners and they're actual good friends.
Yeah,
like I hear it, but not. Oh yes, brother, we believe in the same God, so I'm not allowed to fight him. Like, that's just gonna kill. Because what about when all of these Dagestanis control the sport? What, they're never gonna fight each other? That's why they'll control. That's why they'll control it.
Exactly.
Because they'll never fight each other.
Yeah, exactly.
Of course, all you guys are gonna have success, and you never fight each other.
Bro.
But what? Yeah. So you think Merab's gonna win?
I think Merab's gonna win. I do. I think it's gonna be.
I agree.
Another routine win for Merab, in my opinion.
Yeah, for me, I don't see what Sean O'Malley could do differently to win, other than just catch him. And at that point, I'm gonna just predict. Yeah, O'Malley's gonna catch him this time. Trust me. Trust me, man. O'Malley's going to catch him.
That's what they call a puncher's chance, isn't it? Everyone's got a puncher's chance.
Exactly, but then, you know, you could predict any fight that way.
You could.
You know what? I'm going to pick Kelvin Gastelum. I think Kelvin Gastelum's just going to catch him, man.
He could.
He's just going to catch him.
Of
course he could.
Like how Moicano broke down Paddy v. Michael Chandler. So Paddy stands like this, Michael Chandler fights like this. With Paddy with the chin up and Chandler with the overhands. So Chandler's going to win.
Yeah, that's right, you know. MMA is one of them ones. It's you know, boxing, you can... There's so many thousands of fights and examples where certain styles have gone up against each other. Because in MMA, so many guys have, like, unique game plans and styles. Yeah. It's so hard to predict any one fight. Like, O'Malley could definitely just come into this built different, defending the takedowns, being way more evasive with his footwork and tagging Merab way more than he was. And that's how the fight could go down. Like, we might we might see a different O'Malley. But if we see more or less the same O'Malley that we saw in the first fight, I don't see how he has a chance.
More or less. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I agree with that.
Because yeah, I mean, I don't see you being able to. I mean, if you are able to outfight him, use evasive footwork and land your work, I don't think you can do that for longer than 2 rounds with the pace he fights at.
Interesting. Yeah, that's interesting. Do you think Sean O'Malley was getting tired in the
He
first
didn't
fight?
look that tired. He didn't look that tired, to be honest. But it's because he wasn't really doing that much.
Yeah.
He was just getting held by Merab, and when it was on the feet, he was just sort of just trying to wait for the perfect time to land that one shot.
Yeah,
So
it
he
felt
wasn't
like
really even doing too much. Like, it
no,
didn't look like he was tired.
it felt like Sean was waiting for something to come that never did. Like, is
Yeah.
that like he spent the 5 rounds waiting for that perfect shot to line itself up, and it never did, and he just lost.
Yeah, until the 5th round where he did appear to hurt Merab, but it was just too
Yes.
little too
Yeah.
late.
But some people will say, well, if he can do that instead of doing that in round 5, in this fight, if he does that in round 1 or 2, then maybe come round 3 or 4, he could finish him.
Yeah, exactly. No, definitely, but it's very easy to lose rounds to Merab. Like, you try and commit once, and then he gets a hold of you, and then the whole round is gone.
Yeah,
It's
for
very
real.
easy. It's very easy to throw away rounds against Merab. It's very easy for it to feel like nothing's really happened in the fight, but we're in round 4 and Merab's won every round.
Well,
That's what happens in his fights. Like, we're in round 4, it doesn't feel like anything's happened, but Merab's won every round.
that's almost how it felt in the first fight.
Yeah, no, that's exactly how it felt. Because I'm watching the fight in round 4 mentally. I'm thinking this is like round 2 or 3 because these guys are undamaged. They don't look that tired,
Yeah,
but it's just the way Merab fights, And I've
it
been
is.
saying it. It's got to a point now where you can't get onto Merab for it. If the rules aren't going to change to change anything about it, or if the fighters aren't going to develop an appropriate game plan, then what should be done really? He's just going to keep winning.
Exactly. Yeah, that's what's
Which
going to
I'm just
happen.
starting to rate him for it now.
Yeah, because at this point, like he's beat everyone. Like,
It's going to sound ridiculous, but his GOAT case is right there.
of course, there's no one. No one's had the resume that he's got. No one in bantamweight history's had this resume.
In my opinion, by far has had the best ever resume for someone that never was a champion before he got the title.
Yes.
I mean, so he won the title against obviously Sean O'Malley, but before that, he had beat Cejudo, Yan, Aldo, Marlon Moraes, and then before that, you're kind of getting a bit bummy like John Dodson, Cody Stamen, Casey Kenny, but a huge win streak. But then after that, obviously he beats O'Malley and beats Umar.
Yeah.
I mean, his bantamweight resume is crazy.
It is. It really is. And like you said, he was one of these guys that won the title once he'd already basically cleaned out the division.
I mean, yeah, going on that streak that beating Marlon Moraes, then Jose Aldo, then Peter Yan, then Henry Cejudo, and then he gets his title shot.
Yeah, it's
That's
crazy.
just crazy.
Yeah. But
And he
was
wins
a
the
guy,
title, and then everyone's going, "Oh, no way he beats Umar, man. Umar's a
Yeah.
Dagestani. He's got the grappling. He's a perfect counter for Merab, and Merab just does to him what he's been doing to everyone else."
Exactly, man. You got that exactly like I said, it gets to a point like you just gotta rate it. Like
You
he's
have
just
to now,
dominating these guys.
because these guys clearly aren't able to do anything about it.
Not a thing.
So, like, fuck it. And a guy like Umar now, even though in the near future he might be good enough to beat Merab, but he has to get back now because he only had one ranked win before getting a title shot. So now he's going to be required to go on a nice little streak, especially with the amount of contenders you have in this division.
Yeah, I mean bantamweight's a real nice division. There's a lot of guys in that top 5 that are really competitive. Who do you think would be a good fight for him? Umar.
I mean, for Umar,
Yeah.
let me pull up the rankings. Maybe like Figueiredo might not be a bad fight.
Yeah. Coming off the
But
loss
obviously,
against Sandhagen.
Figueiredo might not be a bad fight. Song Yadong might not be a bad fight. He just beat
Yeah.
Cejudo. Sandhagen I mean, do you think Sanhagen would get the title shot over Jan? Because Jan's already. I mean, Jan's fighting Marcus McGee next, actually, so we still
Yeah.
have to see what happens there. But do you think like Corey Sanhagen's kind of just waiting for a title shot? Because he's one of the only guys that Merab actually hasn't beaten.
It must be. Yeah. Like, he must be. Like, he's coming off a win against Figueiredo. And like I said, 2 top 5 guys fighting each other. It feels like it never even happens anymore. So,
Yeah.
I was respecting both of those guys for even taking that fight. Because, like I said, top 5 guys don't fight each other in the UFC anymore. And
No,
Sanhagen,
that's
he's
it.
coming off a win against the top 5 guys. So, yeah, he probably deserves a title shot next.
Yeah,
That's
the only
fair.
thing with that is, I see that as an easy win for Merab.
Yeah.
Like, I don't see Corey Sanhagen's path to victory. His path to victory is the same as everyone else's against Merab. You just got to get lucky and catch him.
Yeah. Honestly.
I mean, really, the fight I want to see is Pantoja move up and fight for super champs, the double champ status, because he deserves it.
You think he wins?
Well, Pantoja,
Yeah.
no.
Nah.
I think he probably gives a better fight than most of the bantamweights would.
Do you reckon? Yeah.
I don't think he'll win.
I don't know, because a guy like Sandhagen's a lot bigger than a guy like Pantoja.
Yeah, but also like they're completely different fighters.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Their styles are on like opposite ends of the spectrum.
Yeah, no, that's right. They are. They definitely.
And
are.
Pantoja is, I mean, not that Merab is finishing many guys anyway, but Pantoja is unfinishable. Like, you cannot hurt this guy.
Yeah, it's definitely going a distance. That's for sure.
Has great stamina. He can take punishment.
Yeah.
Again, not that Merab would give out their punishment, but
No, for real.
But yeah, no, I still think Merab would win. I don't think anybody that Merab has the possibility of fighting right now can beat him.
So you're saying it's going to take someone that's like probably not
you
UFC,
either get lucky and catch him, you either get lucky or catch him, or it has to be someone that's not in the UFC right now.
Yeah, like Father Time catches up to him and eventually he gets old.
Yeah, or maybe man goes up to featherweight and it's just a bit too much and he loses to whoever he fights at featherweight.
Yeah.
Well, I personally don't see him going up to featherweight.
No, I mean, it doesn't feel like it.
He's not young,
he's dominating these guys. Yeah.
Yeah, he's just running through bantamweight. I think he's going to be happy to just chill at bantamweight.
Yeah. I agree. I think that's probably what will happen. Yeah.
Yeah, man, I'm going for Merab because I don't think anyone in the UFC right now can beat him.
Tend to agree.
Yeah, Merab decision, I might even put a bet on it.
Yeah, that would be the smart money. Because, like I said, like O'Malley ain't really got a path to victory. Apart from having a fighter's chance. A puncher's chance, sorry.
But that's, who's betting on something because of a puncher's chance, really?
Agree?
Why not, innit?
For real, man. Yeah, you should bet on it, though. Life savings.
Yeah.
O'Malley to win.
I'll just find like a loan shark in it and just put everything I'm able to get from them on an O'Malley first round knockout.
I mean, you should have to go missing after that, because...
Yeah. Well, they just start planned bankrupting my business, innit?
Could you imagine?
If I had one.
Fuck, you know.
They're just like, yeah, you let us order bare watches through the Lonely Stoner account book and we'll let you off.
Bro. Man, bankruptcy, No, Tony was a scumbag for that.
It was just because he didn't care as well.
Yeah.
But he had no sympathy for this guy whatsoever.
How could you? He's a little gambling addict fiend, isn't it?
I mean, you could because he has a family.
Yeah, we've all got families, so we've all got families we need to feed, innit?
And what was it? He took the guy's like son's car as part payment, and he gave it to his daughter. That's
Oh yeah,
that's 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 mad.
yeah,
That's
that was
crazy. That
crazy.
they go to school together as well. Like
Yeah, that was
that
crazy.
is crazy.
You can't be doing that. You
That's
can't be
taking
doing
it too far.
Oh man, you couldn't make it up. I mean, you could, but I mean, they literally did.
Something else you definitely have to talk about though.
Um,
Big Ange.
yeah, man. Yeah, Electro boy, man. What's
I
up with
mean,
that?
yeah. What's your thoughts on the sacking? Because I have mine, but I'd like to
I was
sort of see what you think first.
honestly, I was shocked because I mean, obviously the Mourinho one was weird, but he gets you to a cup final when you sack him. Ange actually wins the cup, and then you sack him. Um, I know the league form was bad. It was awful. Like the only way it would have been worse is if you literally got relegated. Um, but Ange, he's got a style. Like I said, the league form wasn't there, but hopefully that can improve next season. But you've got Champions League football now. It's not like you guys won the Conference League. You guys won the Europa League. You've got Champions League football now. So the club's got way more money. And yeah, I was just surprised that they sacked Ange. But if, like you're saying, they've got Thomas Frank lined up, then that's a good appointment. Because in my opinion, I'm surprised not a bigger team has gone for Thomas Frank because he's done a good job with Brentford, got them up, kept them up. They've been in the league for a few years now, and they've not been spending crazy amounts of money. They've kept it pretty humble, and a guy like Thomas Frank has a lot to do with that.
It could definitely make sense to him as well with, his best players being sold to Man United and he could be managing in the Champions League. It could make sense for him to want to come to Tottenham.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, Tottenham being in the Champions League, like that's going to be attractive to any manager.
Yeah, a chance to prove yourself in the Champions League. Any
Yeah,
manager would want to do that.
exactly. Yeah, exactly.
But no, I
Yeah,
was on the fence leaning towards he should be sacked. That was my
yeah,
position because, in my opinion, you know, the league form specifically, there were
yeah,
two ways of that it could have been approached. Right, is that halfway through, let's give up and focus on the Europa League. Number one, that's acceptable on its own. Giving up in a competition because you want to focus on a different competition, even if we are 12th or 13th. Nobody wants to finish 17th. Like nobody, even winning a trophy, whatever. Nobody wants to finish 17th. That is very embarrassing.
yeah.
And if you didn't give up on the league and you were just genuinely that bad, then that's not even better or worse. It's just as bad. So I mean, either way, the league form it needed to be like it needed something needed to happen there. You can't just because someone won the Europa League, you can't just allow a 17th place finish. Like that's still not acceptable in my opinion. I would have sacked him anyway.
Yeah, yeah.
And also, it's because where is the future with Ange? You're going to keep him around because he won us a trophy, but where's the future really? I don't see the project, and I don't
Yeah.
think a guy like him that the board are going to give like bare control to anyway. And
No.
especially, we keep him around, and then we're 16th, 8 games in, and we sack him. We're keeping him around potentially for him to get sacked in the first couple months.
Yeah, you have to. If you're gonna have him, you need to commit to him.
That's
Um,
exactly what I said. That's
yeah,
exactly what I was saying. That if we're going to keep him, you need to fully commit everything you have to him. But if not, you might as well sack him.
yeah. No, I agree. I agree with
And
that.
I personally wouldn't have been willing to invest everything into Ange because, like that finishing 17th is just atrocious, regardless of the injuries or not focusing on the league anymore. There's no excuse for that. None. If we finish one place lower, we'd be in a championship.
I know. Yeah, yeah. It's
But it's like with the Frank thing. If you're gonna sack him, you have to have your next manager immediately lined up. And if we've sacked him with the hopes of getting Frank, but we don't know we're getting him, then that's not a good idea in my opinion. Like, I would have rather kept Ange than just sack him and then search for a new manager. Because now, if we have to wait weeks or a month for another manager, we're not signing anyone in that time. We're not signing anyone until we get a new manager.
It's true. It's true.
So our summer's essentially getting held back and delayed because we've sacked our manager and we have to find a new one. And that's not on anyone other than the board for sacking him.
Yeah, you'd think that they would have had their targets lined up for the summer, but they probably weren't expecting. I don't know. They're expecting to sack the manager, so they've got.
But that's the whole uncertainty in Tottenham right now. You
Yeah.
don't know what's going on with anything.
Yeah,
We don't know what's going on with signings, what's going on with managers. We have no idea.
It's crazy, man.
Well, I would have sacked him, but I would have made sure, like, within a week max that Frank is in confirmed.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Because if we're just manager hunting now for the rest of the summer, then we'll end up making 1 or 2 panic buys at the start of the season. They'll be shit, and then we'll probably be shit.
Yeah.
But the one thing I've been saying now, they've sacked Ange. If it's all on the board now, it's all on them. They have the responsibility, because you're gonna have half the people saying we shouldn't have sacked him and half the people saying we should have.
Exactly. That's why that next appointment is, super important.
Yeah, super important. But if it is Frank, I won't be dissatisfied by that. I would be, in terms of what's available, that's one of the better options out there.
No, exactly. I don't know what his contract situation at Brentford's like. If he's got 1 year left, but Spurs will buy him out. That's not a problem.
But I'm reading that Brentford, they're not going to fight it. If he's going to get poached by another club, then that's all right with them.
Yeah, crazy. I mean, makes sense. It's a shame for Brentford because obviously he's probably the best manager they've ever had.
Yeah.
But knowing a club like Brentford, they've already got like 2 or 3 guys lining up to take that job if Thomas Frank leaves, because they're the type of club that they're proper preparers.
Yeah, and they're a consistent Premier League club at this point. You're going to have plenty of decent managers wanting to manage at Brentford.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's certainly a bit of a strange one. A club like Tottenham winning a major trophy and then sacking their manager, but that's the only kind of way you can put it where it sounds crazy that they sacked him.
Yeah, it's true.
There's more reasons to sack him than to keep him.
More reasons to sack him. Yes. Do you think? Yeah. But yeah, no, there is. There are more reasons. But obviously, one big reason to keep him is that he's now got you Champions League football for next season.
Yeah, exactly. No, I was more on the fence. So if he'd have been kept, I wouldn't have been upset or angry or against that. But it's just if you were to keep him, you have to commit to him. Because keeping him around just to sack him, like in October, there's no point in that.
No, there isn't. Yeah, we'll see what's next for Spurs, because they need to appoint an official manager soon. Because, like you said, the summer's on hold without the manager.
Yeah, clubs are making their signings and declaring their interests. We can't afford. We're in the Champions League. I mean, this is just about the best position we're going to be in to sign players.
Yes. Yeah, they've got to make the most of it.
Exactly. We need to make the most of it. We've got young Arsenal trying to get that Sesko. Surprised they're not going for Gyökeres, to be fair.
Yeah, well, it was sort of between those two, innit? It was either one or the other that we were going to be seriously looking at. I'm even hearing we're looking at Rodrigo as well.
Right up front?
From Real Madrid. No, I'd probably play him on the wing, I'd imagine.
Yeah, I thought he'd go on the wing as well.
I'd play him on the wing, yeah.
So that'll probably be Martinelli getting dropped if they got Rodrigo.
Yeah. One Brazilian for another, innit?
It's mad. It was only like 18 months ago that people thought he was next up.
Who, Rodrigo?
No, Martinelli.
Yeah. He's been at Arsenal for a minute though, to be fair.
He was like a nothing signing if you think about it. What was it from like
He
the
was, I
second or
remember.
third tier of Italy? It was
Something
like
like that.
4 or 5 million.
Yeah. It was something like that, I remember. Yeah.
Probably like near the start of Arteta's reign at Arsenal.
That might have even been Unai Emery, you know?
Pre-Arteta?
It might have been, you know.
Really?
It may have been. Because it was, I don't know actually. Because it was Edu that signed him, wasn't it?
Oh, no, you're right. You're right. He's been at Arsenal
Yeah.
for ages.
Yeah.
Bloody hell.
Yeah, right.
Thought he joined in like 2021.
Nah.
Joined before COVID.
Yeah.
That's crazy. 23 years old.
Real, man. Imagine that.
Yeah, that's your favourite player.
I don't mind him. Nah, at one point he was pretty good for us. Without a doubt, but you know, it's part of the game. Get
No, it
Rodrigo up there.
definitely is.
Get Rodrigo in there. That's an upgrade. Put Martinelli on the bench.
Yeah, and that's what, Arsenal really, they shouldn't be looking at improving their depth or the young players they have. They need, those now players, those
Yes,
immediate impact players.
definitely, yeah. That's a fact. Oh, I wanted to talk to you about Zack Snyder.
Oh yeah, that's your guy. Yeah.
So his one of the writers for Rebel Moon 1 and 2 that worked with Zack Snyder went on a podcast and was saying that like Zack Snyder's made the story for Rebel Moon 3, 4, 5, and 6. But obviously that's never getting made.
I hope not. I bloody hope not. Well, it's just the only thing I can remember out them films is your guy screaming, "Do it."
Yeah, I do remember that. And I remember the excessive slow motion. Like literally doing anything and it's going to get put in slow mo.
There's a reason why them director's cuts were the length they were.
Ridiculous, bro. Absolutely ridiculous.
And sometimes there is like, you can tell when guys need a leash.
Yeah. And it's,
Like writing, why is man getting that ahead of himself and writing all six, 3, 4, 5, and 6?
main character syndrome, isn't it?
I mean, like those. There's films that are boring and average and not interesting, right?
Mm.
And then there's Zack Snyder films that you just watch it and your brain just is unable to process the shit. Like the pure,
Yeah.
like, and it's for me when I say this, when you can watch something and your head just thinks of these man in the writers' room going, wouldn't it be cool if this happened? Oh, and then this sort of imagery, like when I can imagine that, that's how you know a film's awful. When you're just imagining these writers just in the room just spunking their nuts over, yeah, this shot would look cool, man. Yeah, what if we did
Of
this?
course. Yeah, of course.
And
That's
Zack Snyder just seems like that exact sort of guy to be like that.
Of course, man. That's Zack Snyder for you, man. Expect nothing less.
I mean, it's a shame as well. He man has some cold films.
Yeah, but it's one of those things like the more involved he gets in the creative process, the worse the films are. Like he's a great director, just let him do that. He's not
He's
a
a very good
writer.
director.
He's not a producer. Like just let him direct.
And I think it's definitely his specific style as well that he has that also makes him stand out.
And those Rebel Moon films, they shot them back to back. So it was a combined budget of 160 mil. So essentially 80 mil for each film. But again, I don't know how are Netflix making their money back on these films if it's straight to streaming.
I mean, the only other film I can think of that I definitely know he wrote was 300, and even that film was like ridiculous. But like the film was ridiculous, but some of the stuff in it was so cool that you could like just overlook like some of the shit.
And
Like
even that, there's a source material to go from.
yeah, it's not an entirely made up like story, you know. It's
Yeah,
like an extremely dramatized and like even sort of mythologized version of the 300 Spartan against like the Persian army.
yeah,
It's like not meant to even. It's like when you get all these like the demon ghost people up in the mountains or and all this shit. Like what is it? What? I'm just here to see a man get kicked into a hole, like.
yeah.
And then obviously man had like Watchmen, which he
Yeah,
didn't write it, but he just directed it, which is like perfect. What he should be perfectly used for. Like a film like Watchmen is a perfect example. The
exactly.
story is way too character based and complex for him to be able to handle.
Yeah,
But the direction, Watchmen, the story of the Watchmen fits his style perfectly, and that's why that film is so good in my opinion.
yeah. It's a great film.
Very good film. And then he wrote all of the DCU stuff in it.
Um,
Or did
I
or did
don't
he
know
not
if he
write
wrote
it?
Man of Steel. I don't know if he wrote Man of Steel.
I'm fine.
He
I'm bringing up his
he
filmography.
probably wrote Justice League. He was a producer for like the other DC movies. I mean, he's like a producer for Aquaman, producer for Wonder Woman.
Oh yeah, here we go. He didn't write Man of Steel.
Yeah,
He didn't write Batman versus Superman.
yeah,
He wrote the story for Justice League,
yeah.
but I guess not the script.
Okay.
But yeah, so in terms of what he's written the Rebel Moon films, 300.
Yep.
I don't know if you saw Army of the Dead. That wasn't even horrible, to be honest. To be
I
fair, but
saw at the
I
start of
think
it.
it was
I
on
basically haven't watched
Netflix.
it. Yeah, yeah, it was on Netflix. I haven't watched it.
It wasn't even horrible, to be honest. It was just like a bit sort of average action movie, but that wasn't even horrible. But yeah, pretty much 300 in the Rebel Moon films.
Did it have Batista in it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, it did. Now that's jokes. See, sometimes there is a case where somebody can be too ambitious.
Yes, it's true. Yeah, but imagine that. Yeah, like I said, those films never getting made. Um, so what I would want to know is, like, from the box office, like the money point of view, like how much money did Rebel Moon make? Obviously, these numbers wouldn't have been public because it didn't go to the cinema. It wasn't. It wasn't a box office film. It went straight to
On
streaming. So
Netflix, so it's kind of hard to even judge it off that, really.
yeah, I mean, the only people that will know whether it was a success or not is Netflix.
Because I guess that would be based off like how many subscriptions they gained when they
Even then,
started advertising the film.
it's impossible to track.
Cause yeah, because you don't know how many of them are because of Rebel Moon or how many of them even
Exactly.
watched Rebel Moon.
Yeah. I think what they try and do, they try and base it off of watch hours. So comparing that to like other top films, and apparently, I mean, at the time when Rebel Moon 1 came out, it was ranked number one in the UK on the Netflix charts for a bit. But the second one, basically, people didn't even know the second one came out.
I think that is solely due to the first one being so bad.
Yeah. Crazy,
And
man.
it's also trying to have so many different characters and none of them with barely any depth to them. And the amount of screen time was given to certain characters, and still the character with the most depth and interest behind him was a character who had like 2 minutes of screen time. And that was the robot, innit? Anthony Hopkins.
Exactly.
which is kind of just that probably just you can probably fit the fate of these films into that little sentence there. You know, what they didn't pay attention to was what was actually good about it, and what they did pay attention to was what made it bad.
Always.
And also, it being almost a complete Star Wars ripoff as well doesn't help.
I mean, that's exactly what it is. It's just a worse version of Episode 4 at every turn.
I mean, it doesn't even really look that good, like how you expect modern films to look, like visually.
I think that's partially to do with like how much the slow-mo just like washed the film out. But the thing is, Zack Snyder, he's got that sort of monotone, like lighting style of camera work. We just saw it in Man of Steel.
Even then, like there is difference, you know. Like when I watch Watchmen and some of the DC films they did, I'm like, these just look way better than Rebel Moon.
Yeah.
Like it's like they knew like Rebel Moon at the end of the day is not going into the cinemas, so certain aspects that they would fully commit to that they didn't.
Makes sense. I mean, makes sense why they would do that. Not
It makes sense why they would do that. Yeah,
cooked.
like it was just like so often, like you can just tell they're in front of a blue screen. Like, the background just looked so many times. The background looked horrible in Rebel Moon.
Well, of course.
And you could have convinced me that pretty much the whole film was shot on a blue screen.
Honestly, it wouldn't surprise me. Wouldn't surprise me if it was.
You love Rebel Moon, though.
It's fine.
It pains you to hear me say all this.
No, like you can put it on in the background, but like honestly, well, what made me realize how bad Rebel Moon was rewatching Episode 4. So I'm like, this is just a better version of Rebel Moon. Rebel Moon's just a worse version of this.
That's a ripoff.
Yeah, like everything that I would want, everything that I see in Rebel Moon, I can see a better version of that in Star Wars. So what's the point?
I think that's it. You can't just be ripping off franchises and think it's alright.
Oh, when you've got Disney saying that this is too shit even for us, then you know you're cooked, isn't it?
No, facts. And I think because of how, you know, the DCU went, it was kind of inevitable that if Zack Snyder was given the keys to another intellectual property like this, even though it's his own creation, it was sort of going to go this way. And it kind of did go the way of the DCU, but just way faster and was immediate.
Yeah.
Like the first, like even like I was actually like interested to see the first one when it came out because I rated Zack Snyder. And I even thought that like if he didn't have to go away from the Justice League, then that film might have turned out a bit better than it ended up turning out. With Joss Whedon having to take over, but yeah, kind of like he's still up there in my favorite directors just because man's style is just quite cold. But if when a story's that bad, you kind of just completely look past the style of it.
It's true. Yeah.
I might have to rewatch it, innit?
I mean, that's one way to spend your time.
I think I'd probably be rather doing just about anything else than watching Rebel Moon.
Bro, just man, just
The only thing I don't know what if I would rather do is watch The Flash. I might have rather watch Rebel Moon over The Flash.
Nah.
You'd rather watch The Flash?
Yeah.
I don't know. Because Ezra Miller's just so gay.
He is, but he's asking chicks, do you want to fight, innit? Gotta respect that.
Pregnant chicks.
Got to, bro. Got to.
You need a Ezra Miller, John Jones link up.
Facts. Need a Kevin Spacey link up as well.
Did you see his new interview with Tucker Carlson? I think it was new.
Nah.
Like, my man was basically like playing his Netflix character in the interview. It was so weird. He was
This is why you
using like
can't.
the accent of his character, like he was acting so weird.
It's why you can't take him serious, innit? When he's crying on camera because he's just playing a character all the time.
Like it was so strange to see. Like I thought it was like real life, like main character syndrome.
It's jokes.
No, I'm seeing like this guy is trying to be his House of Cards character in real life. Don't get it twisted. His House of Cards character was cool.
Yeah.
And he was a sick man. But man, it was just. Oh, this isn't new. This was a while ago, actually.
Oh, okay.
It was like a year ago, but.
A minute ago, but man, like Kevin Spacey, man. I want to do the comeback story for him, man. He's got a mad comeback story in my animated wrestling show.
Yeah. You write the role for him, yeah?
100%, bro. Come on. Look, I know how to treat legends, bro.
Like that.
I know how to treat legends. Do it in WMMA. Do it in my shows. It's just a game, bro. It's just a game. Oh, what, you trying to go broth then, or? Always got an offer, though.
He's got money for that these days.
You, innit? I don't. I'm Brock Pocket, G.
What about free broth?
I mean, nothing can beat. Oh, whoa. If it's free broth with anything we get to pick, then that's, agreeable. But free broth with the selection that we currently have, ideal.
What about just a thing off the street, innit?
Depends what they look like, innit?
Doesn't matter, innit?
I mean, of course it matters. That's the only thing that matters. Really and truly. That's the only thing that matters, man. But yeah, bro. I mean, you got the UFC with obviously AEW had Double or Nothing, but I haven't watched it. It's been a few weeks now. But did you watch it?
AEW?
Yeah, Double or Nothing 25.
Yeah, no, I didn't.
Yeah. And my Fire Stick's dead. It's not even got the AEW events on there. Violate.
Yeah, that is dead. My one had it on there like the morning I woke up.
Ridiculous, bro. I'm pissed, but because I would actually watch that AEW event. Because people are saying that AEW's making a bit of a comeback now, but
is it that or is WWE just literally fell off majorly?
Probably both, right? Do you know what I mean? It's probably both, but
I was bare jokes when your guy Will Ospreay said that though.
Yo.
The only reason AEW sucks right now is because you're a world champ.
Facts.
Man just immediately regretted it.
Tony Khan was stressing backstage, bare like shuffling his papers and that.
Now, low-key though, AEW should take advantage and because WWE are just. I think that they think they can just do anything and it's gonna work.
Yeah, they probably do.
Like they're just like, yeah, man. Put Seth Rollins in a group with Paul Heyman, who's a good young guy. Yeah, Braun Breaker, and who's another guy we can put in? Yeah. Fat Bronson Reed.
Yeah. It's true.
Yeah, he's got nothing to do right now. Like
facts.
And even like it's just the way it's just the sort of the way it looks to be going. It's just like the same sort of booking like every week.
Yeah.
And even I think that this John Cena Hill run is just super tired as well.
Facts. It's been an absolute
Been
waste
tired.
of time. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, I would rather just him, because even as a face, he was coming out and getting super cheers because he's a legend. People love him at this
Yeah.
point. Like, there was no need for him to turn heel. It was just like a cool idea, I guess.
That's it.
And in practice, it's turned out, a lot worse than it probably seemed in theory.
Definitely.
Although we know John Cena can rip ass on the mic, he's much better at doing it against bad guys.
Yeah, because now it just feels like he's forcing everything.
Yeah, like he's trying to pump up Logan Paul to the crowd. It just seems fake.
Yeah,
It just seems like an absolute forced passing of the torch, like so forced.
Yeah,
and just saying pretty much the same stuff to all of his face opponents because he's just so used to being a face himself.
Yep.
I feel like at this point it would have been better just for him to be a face and just put him up against bare heels or heel-ish characters.
Yeah, I mean that would have been a way better route to go down than this current route where he's a bad guy literally just for the sake of it and just forcing it this entire time, and no one's enjoying it anymore. But just because he said he's going to ruin wrestling, he doesn't literally need to ruin wrestling.
Yeah, you don't need to mean it, bro. Like you don't need.
Yeah.
So I think we said this on the last pod as well.
Yeah,
that we did. Where man said you're going to ruin wrestling, but don't actually do it.
Facts, and he's actually doing it.
Like, come on, brother.
For real.
Yeah, just cutting the same sort of promo. And obviously, we're not here for man's in-ring work. Like, no one's really been here for his in-ring work.
Nah. I mean, all of his matches have been pretty dead, to be honest.
Yeah, they've been very dead, actually. Very dead. Even
the match when he beat Cody was dead at WrestleMania.
That match was dead. The match against Randy Orton, it was alright. I wouldn't call it dead. If it was alright, but it was more because of Randy Orton why the match was alright, really. It wasn't because of John Cena.
No. And then he wrestled R-Truth.
Yeah, and then R-Truth got cut straight after.
Yeah, it was obviously just like a goodbye thing for R-Truth, like.
Yeah. Having worked with a world champ, John Cena.
Yeah.
Which that's crazy though, if you ask me. I mean, we know, man, he just shows up every now and again, but is there really just get him on a specific worker's contract? You don't have to be paying him no crazy money.
Bro, I'd be surprised. Yeah, they probably. I don't know if they were paying him bare money or what. They must have been. Because he's been there for
maybe time. because of loyalty bonuses or whatever year on year.
Yeah.
Maybe it was in his contract that he gets a little pay increase every year, and maybe he was there for so long he just was getting paid crazy money. But
probably was.
At the same time, I'm sure they could have renegotiated. I'm sure that R-Truth wouldn't have been
yeah, no, they probably didn't want to.
Fire me or let me keep my contracts. I'm sure R-Truth wouldn't have been like that.
Yeah, they wanted to get rid of him, probably. They were like, yeah, you've been here for time, we're not trying to keep paying you, so there you go.
And I think this kind of ultra business savvy TKO moves is kind of what is putting people off from wrestling as well. Just the ultra advertising, clearly putting doing certain stories because of non-wrestling related stuff, and having are we really in a situation where the best we can do is John Cena and Jey Uso as world champs in 2025? Is that the best? No. Is that the best we have?
Yep, that's where we are.
I feel bad, innit? Because I look at a guy like Finn Balor. I'm like, you're a fucking jobber, mate, and you're way better than Jey Uso at everything. Better on the mic, better in the ring, better than Jey Uso at everything, and he's a jobber. And that actually allows me to segue into my new despise of New Day Wrestling fans. The fans are fucking awful. They're part of the problem, actually. They're the reason why guys like Jey Uso are so popular. And guys might say to me, but if he's popular, if the fans like him, then what's the problem with that? It's because it's just those like shitty marks that love him, or you don't actually like him because of him. You just like his entrance, and you like that he does bear super kicks. You like Yeet, which is he didn't even make up. Yeet was around for years before he started saying that.
Facts.
And even like these days, guys will be cutting an emotional promo in the ring, and then guys are just singing songs over the promo. Like I'm like Jey Uso's trying to cut like a little emotional promo here, like, and you man are just screaming Yeet over his promo. Like what are you lot doing? Like you guys they're the one, yeah, the fans are the ones ruining wrestling, man. Because cool,
Yeah.
like these man wanna make it so a regular person can't attend a raw event in the worst seats. But guys are really out here paying these prices and ruining
It's
it for
true.
everyone else.
Yeah. As
Like
long as there are people,
these man paying
yeah,
$5 for the worst UFC tickets possible, are the ones ruining it for everyone else.
facts. Because as long as there's people willing to pay that price, the UFC or WWE, they'll continue to sell it at that price.
Exactly, and there's a reason why you hear after every UFC and WWE event, yeah, the biggest gate in Atlanta history. Like, of course, it's the fucking biggest gate when you're charging insane prices. Of course.
True. Yeah.
Like, sports is really not for the regular person anymore.
No, not at all.
Even how we were talking about trying to go to some amateur MMA fights or some cage warrior fights, but the prices are just out of order.
Yeah.
The fact that they even sell standing tickets is crazy.
It's true. It's crazy,
But this is why we need to go to boxing, isn't it? Because you had the privilege of attending the most recent Johnny Fisher fight, and that was what, like 40 quid?
yeah, I found like 45 quid. I think that was.
Like that's minor.
And that was like that was close. I was close to us where that was in the copper box. And it was a heavyweight main event, a big domestic fight. Big upset, big knockout. And even the undercard fights, they're like a decent level as well. Like you're seeing English title fights, British title fights. And
You're seeing,
prospects.
like obviously not world level, but very high level boxing.
Yeah.
Maybe even some of these guys will go on to be world level.
Yeah, hopefully. It's possible. Dave Allen's not world level, but he'll be looking to have a big fight after that. Because he's knocked out Johnny Fisher, took his undefeated record. Dave Allen was calling out Deontay Wilder after that, which was a big jokes.
But even then, he's been in there with some decent big name guys as well. So
he has, yeah, he has. Dave Allen, yeah. People look at his record and it'd be easy to write off Dave Allen, but you have to watch some of the performances, particularly this last one against Johnny Fisher. Like he showed a lot of high IQ, and then come the fifth round, landed a devastating shot and knocked out Johnny Fisher.
brutal knockout, brutal.
Yeah, bro. Imagine. Well, I was there live. It was nuts. G. It was nuts.
No, because when I saw it, I was like, he just fell flat on his face.
Yeah, he was done.
Like that was a bad knockout.
Yeah. Because at the time when you're watching it, you're thinking, oh, Johnny Fisher's low-key outboxing him, but you're not understanding that Johnny Fisher's using up loads of energy doing this. And come the fifth round, you could see after the third round, Johnny Fisher was breathing very hard after the third round.
Yeah, and at heavyweight, you can't fight for that many rounds as he was planning to.
No.
Gassed and taking big shots from a heavyweight.
That was all part of Dave Allen's game plan to apply the pressure to force Johnny Fisher to throw those punches and gas himself out.
It more than worked out for him.
Exactly. Yeah.
And I think we're still at that point in boxing where, like, if you have a few losses on your record, you're gonna be very much judged for that. And a guy like Dave, they're gonna look at his record and be like, oh, he has like 5 losses, or he must be awful. Whereas that's not always the case. Like guys just have certain styles where they're gonna lose to certain boxers, or they get put in a position too early to be fighting boxers that they shouldn't be fighting yet. And things happen. You get a few losses, and that is the part of MMA that I like, where a guy like Charles Oliveira can have like 6 or 7 losses and then come into his prime and be world level and compete with every lightweight on the planet. But in boxing, I feel like the system kind of puts you down if you get a couple losses too early. and it can
Yeah,
kind of kill your potential if it's still there.
yeah, it can. But also in MMA, they've got the opposite problem where you'll have guys that have got like 15, 16 losses and they're still somewhat respectable, in the rankings. I'm thinking, bro, you've lost like so many times.
I guess that just speaks to. I would say that probably speaks to like the youth of the sports, like the age difference between the sports. Whereas boxing's so old, where
Oh yeah,
the levels are so like there's so many different levels of boxing, whereas there's not that many levels of MMA really. You can
that's true.
go, realistically, you can go from like being untrained to like 6 or 7 years down the line being in the UFC. Now you could do that for world level boxing, but that's like 1 in a million.
Yeah.
That's like if a guy starts training boxing at like 16, 17 and he's fighting near world level talent in his late 20s, then that's extremely rare.
Yes. Yeah. And like
Whereas
you
like
said,
in
there's
boxing, you
more.
can't just pick it up and decide, yeah, I'm going to be a world level boxer. But a lot like guys, it's way easier to get into the UFC than it is to be a world level boxer.
Oh, definitely. Because, like you said, there's so many more levels in boxing. Like, okay, you turn pro. Okay, you're fighting local fighters. You beat them. Then you go to like Southern area titles. You win that. Then you go to English title. You win that. British title. You win that.
You can
Then,
almost think of it like a league pyramid, sort of.
yeah, it almost is. Yeah,
Like boxing has so many levels you need to get through before you get to even like a known stage. But within MMA, like you might have a few amateur fights, go on like a little 4-5-0 amateur, have a few pro fights in maybe a couple regional companies. You get to like 6-7-0, you might get like Dana White Contender Series fight or something like that.
literally.
Like it's not really that large of an amount of time between you making your debut and potentially being in the UFC. But yeah, with boxing, you can get to like 20, 30 and 0 and still not even really be known.
Well, like I said, like where there's so many levels. Let's say you win an area title, you win a British title, win English title, British title, then you fight for European title and you lose. Then you're like, okay, that's your level now.
Yeah, and there are
And,
those levels to it.
and until maybe you beat a couple European level guys, you're not going to progress to sort of internationals as fringe world level. You know what I
It's
mean?
so much more established with the levels of
Yeah,
boxing. I think that's why in MMA, like you said, you get these guys who have a crazy amount of losses, really bad records, but still out here in the UFC because the
sure.
sport is just so young compared to
Yeah,
boxing.
it's
I
true.
think that just comes with MMA because MMA is mainstream, but we're still at a point where people call MMA UFC. I mean, that still
Yeah,
happens.
exactly. Yeah, it does.
Well, yeah, do the UFC training, yeah.
Yeah, facts.
Like, brother, please. But what I ever got is I want to say, oh, you're training WBO, yeah. You've been training WBC.
Can you imagine?
Like, you
Make it
sound
sound
like an
mad.
idiot.
Yeah, you would, of course.
So I think
Yeah,
that kind of does speak to like the still the youth of MMA,
yeah,
and even the fact that like the champions in MMA probably get paid like a couple of mil for a win. Whereas like
yeah.
the world champions in boxing, like for example, how much did like Chris Eubank and Conor Benn make off their fight, and they're not even world champs? How much did they make?
I think Chris Eubank probably saw like over 10 mil for that. 8 to 10 mil, I think.
Well, only like the top 2 or 3 fighters in MMA could potentially see that money.
Yeah,
Whereas like
and they're world
that is
champions.
a
Whereas,
huge fight. That is like
yeah,
Conor Benn versus Chris Eubank is a huge fight, which is why there's so much money in it. Because even that fight is bigger than any UFC fight that will be put on this year
yeah, 100%.
by far.
The only person that could do that sort of number would be Connor.
Yeah, exactly. Even then, I don't even think it's possible for him to like even fight this year if he wanted to.
Probably not. No,
Unless man was back and actually no, they don't even drug test guys anymore, innit? I mean,
no.
they technically they do, but
Yeah,
it doesn't seem like they do.
he should come back at 185 though, like he said he wanted to do to Chandler, innit? You do what you're told, innit?
No, that would be quite jokes. Chandler would do it as well.
Of course. Chandler's out here screaming out Conor McGregor, isn't it?
Yeah. Beat me if you can.
Yeah, he's a clown. He needs to go collect his kid. Where's your son at, innit? Where's your kid
Where's
at?
your kid at?
Facts.
His black kids.
Facts. They
Now,
should
that's
be
joke.
in.
So man adopted a black kid to prove that black people aren't inherently violent.
What a guy,
That's
man.
jokes.
He should. Once his kid turns like 16, he should put him in Goodwill Smith, innit? Oh, like Goodwill Smith. You know, that's a crazy bar.
No, if they made that film, I would have to audition for it.
Who would you play? Who would you be?
Even if I'm an extra or something.
You got to, bro.
I
Oh,
would
man.
have to.
Same
way if they made a super bad 2, I would have to audition for it.
Yeah, facts.
Like, just to say that I did.
Got to, man. Super bad 2.
Like, there's no way they could be making a super bad 2 and I could live knowing that I didn't try and be in it.
I do hear it. What about Rebel Moon 3?
I mean, low-key, I might. The scariest thing is I might actually get the part.
Yeah, but he might make you the main character, G.
I wouldn't want to be the main character still.
Man just says he sees something in you. Makes you the main character.
I just have one little read and he just, I see something in you, man.
You're the future of the franchise, isn't it?
Things man will probably knowing man will probably say I'm the next Bella Ramsey or something. I'll just end up slapping him in the face.
But he probably likes that sort of thing.
Yeah, he probably does still.
My wife was like, "Yeah, do it again."
He's like, do it again, and I'll give you a percentage cut of the profits. And I'm like, well, that ain't useful, is it?
For real.
Your shit ain't making no money.
Oh man, Netflix are pissed. I shouldn't give a man 80 mil to make that.
Now, what are you doing though? Like investing 660 mil into Netflix films though? Doesn't that just seem a bit stupid? Like, there's no way you're gonna make that back.
For me, it seems very stupid. But
like, are they genuinely in their head going, "Oh yeah"? Like, imagine if there was another Star Wars franchise made, but it was just owned by Netflix. Imagine if that happened. So they just make this, hoping that the first film was so popular, and they're like, "Yeah, look at this new franchise we have, and it's all Netflix owned." That's what they wanted.
I'll be real. That sounds like the sort of conversations they're probably having.
It probably was, and they're probably like, "Yeah, like people like the Snyder cut, don't they? Yeah, get him."
For real.
Whereas they don't realise that the only reason the Snyder cut has any sort of positive view is because the Justice League was so shit.
Yes, that's true.
So the Snyder cut just looks good in comparison. Like, brother, imagine having to go cinema and watch a 4-hour film.
Can never do it, bro.
I would cut.
Or I would at least be going out for a break. I'd at least be going out for a Zoot break. And
have to. They would have to do an intermission.
Yeah.
Like, they'd have to say, like, yeah, we're having a 10-minute or 15-minute intermission of the film. Go do what you got to do and come back.
I'm sure they used to do that back in the day.
I think they did. But they probably just saw that as wasted time, innit? Time is money.
Yeah.
Why have an intermission where you can just... If you take away all the intermissions, you can fit in another film or two, sort of thing.
For real. Yeah.
That's more money, but... That's just the way that it's going with the juice, innit?
Facts. Juice is loose, innit?
It really is.
Goat line. Oh, how long have we been going for? Hour and 20?
Yeah.
It started on the 4. Yeah. Out here, G. It's a Lonely Son of podcast.
Needed to run this one.
That's what we do, man. 28 episodes in. We can keep going.
No, I know you rated my Star Wars tier list, though.
Got to, bro. An hour just getting into it, bro. Just getting into it. I haven't even done a tier list yet of my own.
You should. They're quite fun, I can't lie.
You're the main character of tier lists, though.
No, but you should do them, though. They're jokes.
I should.
I could do another one, to be fair.
Yeah.
But the idea has to come to me. I don't want to force it.
Yeah, because the thing is, I have to think of something that I know in depth enough to have a tier list about.
Yeah, like even with the Star Wars one, there was a few of them that I'd never watched, so I just didn't.
Yeah.
Like, I've seen like enough of the Star Wars projects to be able to do a tier list, you know. And the
Yeah.
same with like the WWE things. Like that just came
Yeah, that's
to
true.
to
Yeah.
me.
Yeah. I do hear that. Maybe I could do like I don't know, like former heavyweight champions in boxing.
Yeah, that'd be a good
Like
one.
since like 2000, like the past 25 years. That'd be pretty cold, actually. There's been some dead champions as well.
Heavyweight as well.
Yeah, there's been
I feel
some
like you
dead
get eras
guys.
of heavyweight. Like you'll have a span of a few years where you have like a couple really good heavyweight rivals, and
Yeah,
then you'll just go years with not even really any quality heavyweights.
yeah, yeah,
And then you'll get back to it now, like where we have now, where we had like AJ, Fury, Usyk,
mm,
Wilder. But even then, like
yeah,
once the Fury's apparently retired now, AJ's on the back end,
yeah,
Wilder's done out, Usyk's probably going to be retired soon.
yeah. You got Usyk, Dubois at the top. Um, but they're obviously rematching. But the thing is, I think if Usyk beats Dubois again, which he very well could, then I think he'll have one more fight and then he'll retire. And then it basically feels like it's open season at heavyweight where you can have Dubois
You
at the
could have
top.
like some of these sort of even sleeper heavyweights that have been on the outskirts for a few years come and fight and for maybe even win a world title.
Exactly. Like once, because like I said, once a guy like Usyk's out of the picture, because he's so much better than everyone else.
Yeah, nobody's beating Usyk
Yeah,
unless Dubois does, and then Usyk just retires, and then Dubois is the next sort of long-term champion.
it's possible because Usyk's no spring chicken.
Nah, he's pretty old. He's definitely on the back end of his career.
He's no spring chicken. And Daniel Dubois, in my opinion, definitely the biggest puncher in the heavyweight division right now. Look, he's 22-2 with 21 knockouts.
Yeah, he
Like
finishes his opponents.
he's by
He's
far the
very
biggest
young
puncher
as
in the
well.
division. Yeah,
I actually didn't know he was that young. I thought he was in his 30s.
yeah.
27.
I'm looking at these heavyweight rankings and I'm saying, let's say you take out Tyson Fury, who's ranked number 5, you take out Usyk, who's ranked number 1. Then you've got Dubois, Parker, Ajit Kabayel, Filip Hrgovic, Martin Bakole, F.A. Jagba, Fabio Wardy. They're like similar level type of fighters. Like I fancy all of those guys to have um pretty competitive fights with each other.
So I'm saying you could see all those sort of guys because this era's heavyweights are going to be exiting. You can see those guys sort of just get raised up to that level, fighting each other for
Yeah,
world titles. It might not
for real.
necessarily be a bad thing. You might get a guy or two get put on.
Yeah, well,
Have
there's
you? Go.
Moses Ituama, who's
Yeah, I
coming
was
back.
just about to ask
Guy.
if you've seen that guy.
I mean, he's clearly got crazy power, crazy athletic. But
Mad
he's not.
young,
He's mad
mad
young, and
young.
he's not faced anyone super high level yet. But like I say, he's still young. He's only 12-0. 12 and
Yeah, I
0
think
with
the guy
10
you just
knockouts.
fought was like I read like around top 100, top 120
Yeah.
level. So like nothing crazy, but
No.
for his age, like these are probably the guys he should be fighting.
Yes. Yeah. So I mean, he's probably a couple fights away from being due a big opponent.
And that's crazy seeing as he's like 22 or something.
Yeah. Like if he wins 2 more fights, he could comfortably get someone in the top 10.
Yeah, especially if he wins them the way he's been winning his fights,
Yeah.
very early knockouts.
Yeah. For real. Yeah.
But they're definitely going to be looking to bump him. But yeah, I think it's weird because like physically he doesn't look massive, but he does seem to be quite big when you look at his weight and his height.
Yeah. 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 He can clearly bang.
But yeah, a guy like him, there's
Crazy
probably
power.
there's probably more that we haven't seen than we have with him.
Yeah, I agree with that.
There's more things to find out.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
Oh, I've been reading though. Man like Ngannou could be coming back to UFC.
Yeah, yeah. I mean,
I
he
mean, I
probably
think
should.
you can probably guess why he's trying to do that, really, innit?
Well, yeah. Obviously, I mean, to be fair though, he's got bread. There's no doubt he's got bread. But if
Yeah,
he
from
wants
those
to
two
fight,
boxing fights, he would have made enough to see him out. But I think
yeah,
it's one of them ones you don't want. When you think of Francis Ngannou, you don't want the most recent thing to think that you think about is that he killed someone. But
they're packing people on a motorcycle, isn't it?
facts. No, you got to though.
I need to get an e-bike though, like our friend. Oh, you should get an
Oh yeah,
e-bike though. Fuck, you should get one.
yeah. You can fly about on them.
Oh, like deep it. No road tax, no insurance, and you never have to pay for parking.
No, they're quite overpowered. The e-bikes.
I mean, obviously you can't go crazy far on them, but
No,
you can get about.
but they'll whiz you about in the local area though.
Yeah,
Definitely.
especially for the summer as well.
No, it's
Yeah,
not. It's not a bad idea.
yeah.
Well, you're thinking of getting one though, is it?
Yeah, low key. If I can get one for a decent price, then yeah.
These like the way these e-bikes are, you can probably find one for a decent price, like second hand. But there's a
Hopefully.
big range of pricing as well. Like you could get one for probably like a couple hundred, or you could get one for like a couple bags.
Yeah, facts. That's true.
So
Still.
there's a big range of these e-bikes. You can get like
Yeah.
the grip and go, the pedal assisted.
Yeah.
There's bare different ones.
Nah, for real. Very true. Well, you've been
Oh, but
playing any WMA?
yeah, here and there. It's more like
Yeah.
I don't really play it for the hours on end like I used to. I just I jump on, I do a couple cards, book
Jump
a
off, yeah,
couple
facts.
cards, jump off sort of thing.
Yeah, no, I think in general, my days of playing games for hours and hours, those days are gone. I think, like, even when I'm playing like college football, I'll jump on, play like one or two games, and then jump off.
Yeah, you
I
play a
can't.
few and then you're off.
Yeah, yeah. It's now hard for me. It feels like it's hard for me to sink bare hours into a game though I used to, because I just
Yeah, I don't.
burn
It's
myself out on
difficult.
FM.
Yeah, especially FM. A game like that, you will be playing it for hours on end, like, even if you don't plan to. That's sort of how you got to play FM.
For real. Yeah, it's true. I mean, that kind of puts me off playing FM as well.
Yeah, because FM's not the type of game you will just jump on to play a couple matches and then lock it off.
Exactly. Yeah, it's
But no,
crazy.
WMMA is just, like I like the position I'm in, but I just don't know how you skipped so many years.
Because for a long time, and even now, I'd book cards. I'd have one card a month, or like now I'm doing it at the moment. I've got a card every week, but I book them and then I'll sim to the events. I'm not simming every day.
Yeah, no, I tried to sim like multiple days at once, but I book 3 events a week, 3 events a month.
Yeah, I'm doing that. I'm
Um,
doing that now. Well, I'll book like 2 or 3 fight nights and then a pay per view.
but yeah, I got like the main man Vlad Kogan really out
Come
here,
on.
champ. He's just destroying guys. Like my middleweight goat, he's spinning back kicked him. Then the guy, my other middleweight who had never been finished before, he finished. This guy is really carving out a GOAT career.
Oh, you build guys up though, isn't it?
27, 2-1 in my company.
Great record. It's a great record.
And WMA is a cold game, man.
It is still. That is.
And we've been watching a bit of that, the Clone Wars, isn't it? Star Wars, the Clone Wars.
Yeah, I watched like the first. I haven't watched anything more since the first 3 episodes. Episodes 2 and 3, they're like it's like a two-parter, isn't it?
They do a lot of that, like a 3-episode arc or something like that.
Yeah, that's cold.
They do quite a lot of that in the Clone Wars.
I rate that still.
No, it's very watchable, very digestible content.
Yes.
And you got those like 20 to 25 minute episodes. You have a story within the episode, but you also have, longer running arcs throughout the seasons.
You do? Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Which is why I was surprised when you said it wasn't in chronological order.
No, it's not, because I watched some of like season 3 first, and then I watched like I watched like a couple episodes, and then I watched the film.
Right. Okay.
Because I remember I took a couple of screenshots. Yeah, like you start with an episode of season 2, then an episode of season 1, then the film, then a couple episodes of season 3, and then you watch the first episode of the first season.
So weird though.
Yeah, it's because what they try to do. I mean, as you get through it, like
Yeah.
most of it is in chronological order, but you still have to keep checking because
Right.
it is what they call like an anthology series, where like not the film isn't entirely in order, where they'll have like an episode might just be about a story that happened, like a story about something that was relevant to a previous episode, almost like a prequel episode. Think of it as.
Yeah, I hear it. I hear it.
But it's weird how they do it. I mean, I knew it wasn't in the right order, but that's how I prefer to watch it, in the chronological order. But it's definitely strange.
Yeah. But I was saying, like, when I first watched that show as a kid when it first came out, I wasn't even really rating the Jedi too much at first. Like, my favourites were like the clones and stuff, because they're the guns, isn't it?
I mean, yeah, I never really watched it. I don't think I even watched Clone Wars as a kid, to be honest.
Yeah.
'Cause I never had them channels.
Okay.
I was in the trenches, isn't it?
Got to, man. Got to.
But I didn't have all
What was it
whatever
on?
channels. It was Cartoon
Yeah.
Network,
Yeah,
or
I think it was the Cartoon Network. Yeah, that's right.
well, I did get Cartoon Network, but it would have been like probably like I was watching other stuff on Cartoon Network, like Ed and Eddie and stuff like that.
Blast from the past, isn't it?
Cold Show and like Ben 10 and all that.
Yeah. Ben 10. Yeah. I remember my man. Ben 10, what a guy.
See, I'd have his watch, yeah. But
Yeah.
instead of turning into monsters, I just have any like ethnicity available.
What, turn like Mexican or something? Like when I said former
Yeah,
Mexican here.
just turn black in it.
And then you could be in Good Will Smith.
Yeah, facts. I can
You could
have,
be
I
the
can, ha-
professor.
I can have my penis grow like 4 inches as well.
Bro. With the professor in Good Will Smith saying, "Who solved this?" Isn't it?
Yeah. Just 2 plus 2.
Facts.
The great equation nobody's able to solve.
They're all just bare baffed looking at it. Oh man. Oh, I mean, there ain't even nothing out in the cinemas at the moment. You got Mission Impossible, but that's basically it.
It doesn't really seem like there's gonna be anything too interesting to see.
Up until like Superman and Fantastic Four, innit?
I mean, I have a feeling Superman's gonna be terrible.
I have a feeling more Fantastic Four will be terrible. I think Fantastic Four will be worse than Superman.
But I think Fantastic Four being terrible won't be like a huge surprise. I think I am expecting it to be decent, but if it's terrible, I won't be surprised. But I feel like everyone's expecting Superman to be amazing.
Do you reckon?
Yeah, I think so.
I almost felt like it's the other way around. Where I think everyone's thinking that Fantastic Four is going to save the MCU. Like, and not everyone thinks it's going to save the MCU, but everyone knows that this is basically
No, people
MCU's
people
last
think that. I do agree. Some people do think that Fantastic Four was almost like a lock to be an amazing film and to make money and be good. I don't agree with that, because I don't even think Fantastic Four will be that good.
Yeah.
I thought, if you're reading anything about what some people are saying about the test screeners and that,
Yeah.
apparently it's not very good.
Yeah. Just diminishing returns at this point, isn't it? Because this is the fourth Fantastic Four film?
Yeah.
Wow.
After that, I never even saw the other one they made.
What, Four Stick?
Yeah. With
Yeah,
Michael
that
B.
was
Jordan.
awful, man. Yeah, that was awful.
What,
Miles
Miles
Teller.
Teller? Wait, say that
Jesus.
again?
Yeah. Facts. Collection boy, bro.
And Miles Teller's one of them guys, yeah. I feel like I've seen him in so much, but I can't name nothing that he's in.
No, apart from the one where he's playing the drums with J. Jonah Jameson.
Oh yeah, Whiplash.
Yeah, that's it.
And there was the
And I
film with
and
what
I
was it
only know
called? Like
that one
War Dogs
because
or
you
something.
see. Oh yeah, that's facts. Yeah. But I only know that one with the drums because you see bare AI edits where man's like, "Oh, your parents schooners and stuff."
Yeah. Oh, facts. Oh, that's jokes.
Facts, gooners, you know. Back in my day, being a gooner meant you supported Arsenal.
Yeah, that's crazy how that word's been twisted.
That's got a completely
That's
different
why I had to
meaning.
send you that post in it that Arsenal they had the gay gooners.
Yeah, facts. Listen, we're catching up with the gay gooners today. No, would you have them on the pod though?
What, the gay gooners?
Yeah, for views, isn't it?
I mean, I
All
have
right,
them on the
so
pod for like 5 seconds before I call
well,
them what I call them, and then they
yeah, but
inevitably end the call.
you could be like to them, yeah, but why are you gay, innit?
Why are you gay? You are gay.
Yeah, I might could say, I never said I was gay, but you're part of the gay gooners, innit?
I just have to make them say what. So you're a gay gooner, yeah?
Yeah, make them
I just
say
say
it.
that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you've got to say it.
just clip farm. Yeah, just clip farming them. You have to say it.
Facts. Got to, man.
You just call them fags.
Well, got to at the end of the day. If that's what they are, then that's what they are. But
No need for that antagonistic behavior.
yeah, facts. Just a podcast at the end of the day. Like my man says, what's he called? Castello said, shout out the HDMI PS5 for LGBTQ, innit?
Oh, for real. I mean, don't
PS5.
shout them out, but you know what I'm saying,
Facts.
right?
They don't just be shouted out, but
Shout
if
out
you
them
are,
man always packing himself off.
what?
But you know about that.
What? Who packing themselves off? Who?
These LGBTQ guys, isn't it?
Bruh. Well, nothing to live for, innit?
No, facts.
In fact, I mean, yeah, if you're spending your days thinking that like you're a man that should be a chick, then you really ain't got much to live for still.
And it's like, these don't always make it like that's their life now. Their life is just about them being a
Yeah,
man who wants to be a chick.
yeah.
I mean, but the way I view it is always like you're a grown human, yeah. You can do whatever you want. Just don't wave it in my face. I can't stop you from doing whatever it is you're gonna do.
Yeah, but now they want you to be involved.
Yeah, no. Yeah, that's not happening.
You know the scene in Family Guy when Stewie and Brian are in the army, they're trying to get kicked out. So they start kissing each other for being gay. Then another soldier comes in and he's like, room for one more. That's what they want you to do, isn't it?
Well, they want me to. We are not saying room for one more.
Yeah,
Can you
facts,
please?
room.
Can you please cut my dick off and invert it into a fanny?
Bruh. I don't even want to
Please,
know.
I want that done to me.
Yeah,
Oh,
sounds like
come
an
on, man.
extremely nuts procedure. Just like Kitty Pryde from X-Men, she got her tits chopped off.
Really?
Yeah, from X-Men.
Yeah, that's crazy.
You don't know the thing that you know her. She was from the live action X-Men films. Something Elliot. What's her name?
Oh, her.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, fully. Yeah.
Yeah.
Elliot Page, you know.
Yeah. Something Elliot. Yeah, Elliot Page. Fuck, you know.
Her name was Ellen Page, isn't it?
Jesus. Decent little
Crazy.
thing. And now she's turned to a man.
Rah, decent little bruv.
I mean, now, yeah. Well, back in the day, back in like days of future past, you know. Not really my type per se, but at the end of the day, she could definitely get, you know, H bombed, pillow, face in the pillow, arse in the air type beat.
I mean, not the H bomb from me personally, not my signature H bomb, but that's an exclusive list.
Yeah, not for you. Yeah.
I mean, who was the recent one added? Was it Alexa Bliss? I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
facts.
Taylor Swift and Alexa, and you know who's another one actually?
Who's that?
That Sabrina Carpenter thing. She'd get H bombed.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, innit? You know.
Yeah. The thing is that there's no explaining it, but we just know, innit?
Like you can see the trend, yeah, you can see the trend, but you just have to see it for yourself, innit? It can't be explained to you.
Facts, it can't be explained.
You just have to observe it.
It's true.
And like a man might say to me, like, "What? Oh, so you'd H bomb Liv Morgan, yeah? But she's too bad. Like, I can't H bomb it. She's too bad."
I hear it.
Like her badness should be appreciated. You know what I'm saying?
I agree.
Not to say like the other three would definitely still hold it to a major level, but they would just also get H bombed in addition.
Yeah. I hear it.
I just have to have Taylor Swift singing Blank Space, innit?
Facts. Tune.
We just say like, can you sing it a bit worse so like you sound like the thing from our school, innit? Like she was singing it.
Oh. Blank Space, you know. What a tune. Blank Space. Imagine.
Blank Space.
Oh man, who could have thought? I wonder what she's up to now, man. Get her on the pod.
You don't want to know it.
Get her on the pod immediately, innit?
It's just a mad out of pocket like guest.
Right, cause I'm just out here going on Boxing Bros UK, and then we just get the some next up chick from our school to be on the guest. You need to do a collab with Lucas Tracy and MMA Guru though. If I'm doing Boxing Bros,
I wonder if I fucking could. Fucking hell.
Who would yours? Who would be like the equivalent for you? Would it be like an MMA channel?
The thing is, I don't rate MMA as much as you rate boxing.
Yeah, I hear it. I do hear it.
Like I do what I like. I'm not that in love with MMA.
I hear it. I do hear it. Yeah. That does make sense.
But I don't know. I'm not sure, to be honest. Like it's hard to find decent people on the internet.
Yeah, facts. Yeah.
That's why I was rating the guys you were chatting to because they
For
seem
real?
like decent fellas.
Literally, bro. Those calm guys talking boxing. Shout out Boxing Bros UK. Hopefully I'll be back on there soon. Who knows?
I definitely see it was some good content.
Yeah, and it looks like they're doing like some decent numbers on their channel as well. In terms of my videos, performance on there, but yeah, I've already messaged them on X, and potentially next week, but we'll see. If I'm busy.
I think there's definitely no reason why you couldn't be like a recurring guest on their channel.
Yeah, and I think with boxing, there's always so much going on.
So much to talk about.
Yeah.
I mean, there's like how much there is to talk about is dependent on how much you want to talk about. Really,
It's true. Yeah, it's true. Yeah.
And because there's so much reason to pay attention to the lower levels of boxing as well. Like not there's reason to pay attention to not just world level.
Yes, true. Whereas that's not really the case in MMA.
Like in MMA, like there's even a level in the UFC that's not worth paying attention to.
It's
Let
crazy, isn't it?
alone like, and there's some decent regional fighters, but
Yeah,
you kind of have to like, you have to be a guy like MMA Guru where like your whole life is just MMA.
facts.
Like a guy like MMA Guru won't even be half as knowledgeable about anything else as he is about MMA.
No, of course not, because that's sort of what he's dedicated his whole shit
So
to,
it makes
isn't it?
sense. Like a guy like you or me could never chat to MMA Guru about what goes on in the UFC because he literally. I am not watching these bummy ass prelim fighters.
Nah.
I ain't got
I
time
mean,
for that.
he's out here predicting everything from early prelims to the main event. It's wild.
Like, you have to make a tier list though.
Oh, like the heavyweight champions. Yeah, I should do that still.
Even I
Yeah.
can even think like even if you can't find a specific one for your needs, you can make your own.
Well, yeah, 'cause even if I can't find one, I would like go on ChatGPT, give me all the heavyweight world champions for the past 25 years in the four major governing bodies. They'll give me a list, and then I'll make my own tier list if there isn't one already.
You can either make the tier list or just rank them. You don't
Yeah,
even need a tier list per se, but the tier list just makes it easier and
yeah, for real.
visually as well. It's a lot better.
Yeah, it's true.
But yeah, per se, you don't even necessarily need an actual tier list.
Nah,
But yeah, I
yeah.
might have to rise up another one. I've been enjoying them, but I don't want to force it though.
No, why not, bro? I mean, you can say I'm forcing the side quests. I'm out here uploading them every day. I've been going every day on the side quest since like February times, isn't it?
No, for real.
Even some days got two side quests dropping.
Daily content,
Got to, man. So
bare daily content.
can never do too much.
Especially at the level we are, there's not really such a thing as oversaturation.
Exactly, yeah. Yeah, it's true. That is true.
I'm really just trying to get out there.
That's it, man. That's it. Nice. This is like, it feels like it's the longest pod we've done in a minute still.
Yeah, we've done a few shorter ones recently, haven't we? How long have we been
Yeah.
going for? What, like nearly 2 hours?
Yeah, nearly 2 hours, yeah. Yeah.
I had a few
Even
things to talk about as well.
yeah. You got any more to talk about?
I think in terms of like subjects, yeah, no, I ain't got anything like on the list.
For me is we'll finish it and then bare stuff will come to me saying I should have talked about this and I should have talked about that, innit?
Yeah, that's the thing, though, isn't it? Like it's like when I have like a debate with someone, all my best points come to me after I'm done with them.
Yeah, I hear it. What's this? You can play
What was
poker
that?
on Discord. What's
I
this?
can see you playing it. Oh, I can't see you playing it, but
I guess because I was just looking at the page and it said like you can play games on here. Let's see what it's saying.
how do I even
Uh,
do that? Oh,
allow that.
join.
Their music. Lock that off. Oh
ERTH poker.
yeah. Play now. Create private table. Right. We should we should create a private table and then play then like stream the game or something. Can we even stream on here?
Yeah, create private table.
I'm sure you can
Ah,
stream on here, can't you?
fold me daddy.
Bruh.
All in or fold. Shut the fuck up.
Invite friend. Can I invite friend? Oh shit.
Where would
Oh,
that come
fold.
through?
Did it come on the text?
Oh
Did it
yeah.
come on the chat? Okay. Oh shit! Did I win this hand? 3 of a kind. Oh. Nah. Oh, I folded.
How do I join?
Let me fold quick. Did it show you like a link or something on the thing?
What's your thing called?
Where it said join, did you click on that?
Yeah, it just put me into the menu of it.
Oh, okay.
It didn't actually put me in the game.
Can I? Okay. If I can do it again. Fold. Yeah. Anyway, I'm gonna jump off. Yeah, because
Yeah, it wasn't putting me in the thing anyway.
that's mad. But at least now we know, innit? Can play poker on here while we're playing the pod.
Couple hands.
That's jokes. How do I come out of this shit game now? Okay, this is a bit mad. Okay, fair enough. I like poker though.
Love a few games of poker.
Got to. It's the name of the game at the end of the day. Yeah, decent game. But yeah, how long have we been going for? Yeah, just under 2 hours.
Yeah, that's
One
not bad.
of our longer episodes recently. Yeah, I mean, what will I even make this one about? UFC 316 predictions.
Yeah, I could have Merab on it. Zack Snyder. Like, go put Zack Snyder on.
Yeah, UFC 316 predictions plus Rebel Moon cancelled update. Yeah, that'll work. That will work. Yeah, man. Another episode of the Lonely Stunner podcast in the bag. Episode 28. Now, for
Due to get
episode
a guest on
30,
soon.
episode 30, we've got to have a guest on. Or episode 29, whenever, innit? Whenever.
Oh, we're due a guest.
Yeah.
Yeah, as we
Will
know,
the,
it's just gotta be the right time, right place sort of thing, I guess.
For real. Would he even be willing to jump on the Discord, or does he want to do it in person?
Yeah, no, he'd prefer. He said he'd prefer in person because
Yeah.
he has some like nice, better quality equipment that he can bring and use with us in it. But
Oh, okay. Yeah.
but I think he's willing to do whatever.
Yeah.
But I won't reveal too much about the guest or anything until he's here. But
Yeah.
obviously,
facts.
you know who he is. But
Yeah.
to the audience, we'll leave it a mystery.
Definitely. Yeah, man. We may as well wrap it up there. Good podcast.
Yeah. Talked about a decent amount of stuff.
Yeah.
We're back.
Overdue.
We needed to come back.
Facts. It's been way too long. We've been a good few weeks.
Yeah, and it's not been for lack of trying.
Yeah.
We have been trying, but it's just things not coming to fruition. But we're here, man.
Exactly, man. We're here.
It ain't gonna stop us.
And we always got something dropping, whether it's a podcast or one of my side quests or one of your side quests.
Yeah, we've both been making side quests, and
yeah,
we're still here. Yeah, we're not just disappeared.
But when I look at my playlist with all my side quests in there, bro, I think there's something like 170 vids in there now.
Yeah,
It's ridiculous. 170.
I rate it though because it's not like every video is like a 20-minute. So you got some like 4 or 5 minute videos.
Yeah, well, to be honest, a lot of them are getting shorter now. Because before, what I would do at the start is if I had like 2 or 3 topics to talk about, I'd make a side quest. But now, even
You
if there's
just
one topic
make
and I just
all
talk about
the
it for 5
different side
minutes,
quests. Yeah,
yeah,
exactly.
yeah, just spread it out. Yeah, spread it out and then clip farm it, innit?
Got to.
I need to hire like a ethnic minority to create our TikTok page though, because we've got
Has
so
to be
many
an
clips.
ethnic minority, innit?
Yeah, of course, because they'll work for cheap, innit? At the end of the day,
It does
there's
make
so,
sense, and
there's so
they're
many
willing to do
clips.
the work. Oh.
Yeah, and what we just have to do is we just tell them, once you've got us monetized on TikTok, then we'll share some of the revenue with you, and they'll be like,
That
they'll be
should be
more than
a
happy with that.
very attractive offer for these guys.
That's their ticket to make it out of the hood, isn't it?
Yeah, until we just sack them off, innit? And just find another one.
Facts. There's always someone cheaper, isn't it?
Always.
Always someone cheaper. Oh yeah, I think that takes us to 2 hours now, bro. That was a good podcast, bro. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, come on, have to.
I have to do it more often.
That's what we're here for.
Facts, bro. And one day we'll have sponsors. We'll have the Prize Pick sponsor midway into the podcast, innit? Telling
Yeah,
guys to use our code.
prize picks, BetterHelp, NordVPN,
So better help.
Surfshark.
What about what's that game?
Raid Shadow Legends.
Yeah, right. Shadow Legends, yeah, them as well.
Yeah, Raid Shadow Legends.
Yeah,
Nah, all of them.
facts. All of them at once, innit? Getting the
Yeah.
bag. Getting the absolute bag. But no, we do need to be contacting the local boxing and local MMA companies to get us in there, like media passes.
Why not? If you're like, yeah, we have over 200,000 views,
I'll be
hundreds of
real.
videos.
I think we'd be surprised like how easily we could get one. It's deep at like got 450 something followers on X, over 300,000 views on our YouTube channel. Yeah, bro,
Especially if it's like these super local events where they don't mind letting a couple guys in if they're going to make a bunch of content about this event and promote for free.
Exactly. That brand awareness for them. We should do it still. I'm already on Boxing Bros UK. Who knows? Who knows what next we'll be appearing on?
Definitely, if we're able to somehow pattern some like press passes for a boxing event, we'd have to, innit?
Yeah, you just go on like a Star Wars page, innit? Just talk about the origins of Thrawn.
Rah.
We'll make one of them like 4-hour Thrawn iceberg videos, innit?
What was that line man said? What was once just a dream is now become a frightening reality for those who oppose us. Crazy line.
There's a goat line in the entire show.
Now, he had aura.
He did. Even though he's
One
better
of the
older
only
than
interesting things about Ahsoka, him and Balin Skull.
Facts.
Who's now going to be shit because he's been recast. But that's the game.
Has he been recast? Yeah.
Yeah.
I was hoping they would just leave him dead, innit?
Yeah, man kind of was like a crucial part of the show, though.
Yeah.
You can't, kind of hard to just write him off the show.
But he did get left behind with Ahsoka, innit?
Yeah.
So
That's kind of why you have to.
Just be like, oh yeah, all these men are dead now. No, they couldn't do that. That would be jokes, though. Yeah, just between season 1 and 2, the entire main cast just died. Just died off camera.
That's some Star Wars shit to do, though.
Facts. Well, after all, anything can happen. If Palpatine returned, then anything can happen.
Just off camera, the whole empire just retook over.
Somehow, innit?
Just somehow.
Who was that? That was Moon Knight that said that, innit?
Yeah, and even like my man being the spy, what's his name? The ginger guy. Like after what destroying multiple planets, killing millions of people.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm the spy. So that doesn't. This guy was screaming at the top of his lungs, like looking like one Nazi.
Yeah, so that man. They're all Nazis, isn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
we just have to be that willingly, innit?
Like Kanye said, all my niggas Nazis, isn't
And they definitely are.
it? Man had his own like band, didn't it? Singing that song. The Yay Orchestra. Those black guys from the
That's what
video.
made it cold, though.
Facts. But that's why you can't question like man's talent. Like that was his creative vision.
Nah, you can't. Because to even think of that is just crazy.
For real. For real.
Like, that's the ultimate. Him and Nick Fuentes, isn't it? The ultimate dream guests.
Yeah, facts. No,
They're
they
just
really are.
slightly above. No, you know what? You should make a tier list of potential guests that we want in the future.
So like what? Orlando Brown, Kanye West, Nick Fuentes.
Yeah. Who else? Who else have we spoke about? Like Kevin
Uh,
Spacey. Yeah.
yeah. Spacey. That would be a crazy tier list. Still, most random tier list ever. Just
Yeah.
dream
Tier list of
podcast
potential
guest.
dream podcast guests.
Got Aaron the plumber on there.
Yeah. No, Orlando Brown would have to be S tier though.
Of course.
The first guest suggestion.
Facts. Orlando Brown. Shout out to him, man. Acting like a crackhead for money.
Got to though. Got to make money somehow.
So it's the bag at the end of the day. Like he's not making money doing anything else, so got to do that. Like, he's not making money from acting or singing, so he may as well act like a crackhead on streams and get paid for that.
It's low key a genius career move.
Okay,
Let
innit?
let people think that. I mean, even if you are like, let people think you're some strung out addict, move mad. Let these guys clip farm.
Listen, even if you are, you know.
Yeah, because he is, but
Uh,
man's
I've
making money off it.
got to, man. Getting paid nicely off those appearance fees, isn't it? I imagine someone paid you to go on a podcast, though.
I'll do it.
Who wouldn't? Yeah, you got to. I'm going on Boxing Bros UK for free.
No, but like, you wouldn't enjoy going on some random podcast and acting like a crackhead. You wouldn't do that for free.
No, I probably wouldn't do that for free. And to be fair, Orlando Brown, he's not doing that for free either. So, gotta respect him.
Yeah. Like, you go on Boxing Bros for free happily because like
Yeah,
that's content and you're gonna enjoy that.
facts. Facts. Yeah, man. We call it a day there.
Yeah, call it there.
Yeah. Okay. I've been Seth
I've been Evan.
on Lonely Stunner podcast, and that's episode 28 in the bag. And we're out. Cool.
Love.